So, do you have a faucet that is hot when you barely turn it on and gets colder even though it's wrong in the opposite? This is extremely dangerous, especially if you have toddlers. I'll show you how I'm going to attempt to fix this one. Stay tuned. So this is a Delta monitor faucet with temperature control dial and on, off, bottom, on the top. It has all the way to the left is supposed to be hot, all the way to the right is supposed to be cold. It's actually reversed and dangerous because then your child could look at this and get it all mixed up, or somebody else doesn't know it and they come in to use your shower and you're looking at someone who could possibly get scalded, or yourself. So the first thing you do is this outer cover just pops right off. Now I believe we've got to take, this is the scald control, and we've got to loosen this up. One screw here. This also controls if you want to make your faucet hotter or not. There it is. Just kind of went in there like that. Now this piece should just pop out as well. Remember the orientation. That just comes out. And now, as you can see, it should have hot and cold marked on this. I don't see it right now, but we're going to twist this, and we're first gonna, we might be able to get away with just untwisting this, but I might have to take the whole thing off to get some grip on it. So let's just go ahead and, well, this appears to have been siliconed on. So let's just see if we can get the cowling off. Try to get some grip on it. Alright, so I was going to take this off to get a better grip on that. This is actually siliconed on there. This is on there tight, but I got, your can opener to get a little bit better grip. And I'm able to move it. It's coming out. It's coming out. Now be careful when you do this. There's probably water gonna come out of there, but And there it came. Now this is what we got that off. Now we need to get this compression off, which is probably going to need some kind of pliers. Maybe not. I might be able to get it with my hand. Then this should come out. We can switch it and then put it back in. Oh yeah, that just turned real soft. So you can see here, it's got these two kind of lined up like that. We're gonna have to wiggle this out, flip it around, screw everything back together tight. Kind of remember which way you had it. So it was like this. So and it doesn't have a hot on it, but remember we had it this way, or positioned like this. We're just gonna flip it this way and back in it's gonna go. Okay, now we're gonna reverse everything. Collar's gonna go back on there. Just hand tight. Make sure your O-ring's on there good. And this is just gonna go back in. Okay guys, so you can see the sleeve is back on there. I'm not going to take it back off, but I just kind of pushed it on there a little bit and then just slid right back in there. Make sure that O-ring is still back there. So it's hard to remember which things go which, but handle goes back next. And it doesn't want to go on there really. You got these little grooves and it has to fit in there perfectly. Then you have this piece goes back in there. And I said remember the orientation, and guess what we didn't do? Remember the orientation. But there we go. It just kind of there we go. Kind of sits in there. Line up your teeth and teeth along the edge, and this part should be sticking out. And we're getting close to the end here. And then we got our other handle, and we're going to just screw this back down. And I'll go back downstairs, turn the water. Okay, you can see there, it's a little bit better. I wanted to try the GoPro out. GoPro maybe not was the best job for this, but I could use both hands. Got the handle part back on, screwed in, and that doesn't seem to be working right. So I snapped the cover back on, and it's much easier to use with the cover. You know, it doesn't go that well. But anyways, let's crack this open and see if we have any leaks. Right now it's in the cold position and it's cold. I'll switch this. Waiting for it to get warm. Give it a minute. We have very long runs, but it's just now starting to get warm, so we have fixed the issue. It's the warm is now on the right. It's just not real warm yet. We'll see what happens. So not everything goes the way you planned it, but we definitely have the cold over here and the warm, or the cold is all the way to the right. Warm is now all the way to the left. But you can see it kind of barely gets, the GoPro wouldn't be doing this. But the GoPro is out of video. You can see it barely gets to the red. There, it's a little more focused for you. So it's barely warm, but it's ice cold down here. So we're going to have to adjust this to get more warm water coming, but doesn't seem to be any leaks coming through here. I don't think we got any in the back. I'll take this off and we'll adjust the warmth. So okay, we took the handle back off and we're going to have to adjust the black part. And we pop this back out. See, there's a C there, and that is for cold. And I think we had it in the coldest spot it could. So there's an H here. So we want to rotate this, if possible, a little bit more this way. And there we go. Now it's that should be really hot. I don't think we want to go that much, so I'm going to take that back out and see if we can get it back in there. Not quite so hot. Like right there, like that's a little bit less than, it's definitely warmer. We'll give that a shot and we'll see what happens. So we got it back together, screwed back on. We'll put the handle cover back on as well, just because it makes it easier to turn this. You don't want to break that little piece of plastic, so you definitely use the handle. We'll turn the blend way back up. Look there, it's almost to the end of the red mark. So we'll see how hot this is. We may have to You may have to adjust it a little bit hotter. We still got quite a bit we could go. But since this is where I bathed my child, I don't want that scalding. Kind of defeats the whole purpose of switching that around so it's not reversed wrong again. So after testing the water, it still was not warm enough. It was lukewarm at the best at the high level. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this back off again, go through the whole process, take that little piece off, take the black part out more to the counterclockwise, and see if we can get it to blend hot water. And like I said before, the reason this was all backwards is we had a terrible company redo our whole bathroom when we moved into this house, and they ended up they're not like we were pointing out that they were doing things wrong, and one guy made up an excuse that he needed something, but we heard him on his phone say tell his buddy he was going to make something up so he could leave so they could go drink beer on a boat. And I don't remember the exact company, but it was downtown New Baltimore, kitchens and basements. You can probably look it up and figure out which one it was. Owner was terrible. We told him all about that. And basically he just said, forget it, I'm pulling all my guys off because I don't believe you. And we're like, okay. And then they didn't even warranty their work. They're garbage company. I mean, that's the kind of work they did. They can't even put something in correctly. And they leave to go drink beer. But I'll pull this back off. We'll go through the whole thing and we'll see. So since the last movement didn't do much, I just went ahead and put all the way up so that the H is as far up as here as it can go inside there. Doesn't have any more hotter, and we'll just see what happens. I don't think it's going to be blazing hot because there might be more issues. If so, this video won't even see the light of day. So, mission accomplished. It's all the way to the red, and it's now hot. But because they took it all the way to the top, it's not bad. A normal adult, you just back it off a little bit, and it'd be perfect. But it is just a smidge hot. But since this is my child's tub, I don't want him to get burnt. So one last time, we're going to back it off, and we're just going to turn it back clockwise just a smidge, and we should be done with this project, which is already taken longer than it should have. Should have been a 5-minute project. But hey, we're filming, we're learning, and hopefully this helps you guys. So you can see we had it all the way up as far as it would go. You got the H right there. We had it all the way up. Wide open for hot. So we don't want it quite that hot, so I'm just going to back it off. Maybe that much. There's a little bit of see that little gap in between there? I don't know how well that's showing. The little gap right here. Because when the handle was up, it was coming right about to here. So this might be perfect. It might end now right at the red and be just about warm, nice hot bath, but not too hot for a young toddler who's going to be learning to take his own baths. Sadly, Dad says sadly soon. So we'll tighten the nut back on there, and we'll test it one more time. You see now, it's lined up almost perfect with the end. This is the farthest hot position. And it's getting warm now. And it's nice and warm, but it's not nice and warm, but you can put your hand on there. It's starting to get a little bit hotter than maybe I'd like. Maybe we'll just back it off one more time. This is getting a little ridiculous. but I just don't want my child to get hurt. I mean, I can keep my hand under there, so it's not, but I don't want him, you know, that in your face, that would be bad. I'm going to back up down just one more tiny little bit, and then we are finally done. All right, you can see there, it's lined up almost perfectly now. Backed it off a little bit more, and I could have, if you only had one shower and it was too hot when you did it here, without doing all the monkeying, you could just have turned your hot water heater down. But if you got more than one shower, or your dishes or whatever, they're all going to be colder if you do that. And in our other shower, another person in this house likes to take steaming hot showers, so it takes a little more adjusting, but you'll get it. Remember, all there is this pops off. You unscrew the piece that's on there that holds the handle and adjust the handle. The inner part that controls the temperature, the scalding, black scalding piece, just pops out. Then this unscrews, and then the hardest part is getting a grip on this collar to pull it out. But it just kind of forces in there. Make sure your O-ring stays on there. And then you just take that cartridge, pull it out, turn it 180 degrees. It's got two little markers on it. Push it back in, and then reverse it. Put your collar back on, screw this part back down, put your black scalding piece back on the handle. This is the handle. Then tighten that down with the adjuster, pop the cover back on, and you're good to go. So that's all. Hope you enjoy this. It was way too long, but hey, you see, not everything goes as smooth as you want, but it's not hard. It's just going to take you a few minutes. Give yourself a half an hour. If you're not filming, you can probably do it in 5 minutes if you got some skill. And you don't have to do any adjusting. But other than that, maybe 15 minutes. So like and subscribe. I appreciate all the support. Check out my other videos. The other videos are DIY. It's a jack of all trades YouTube channel. We have DIY. We have rants. Not so many anymore. Used to have true crime. We may get back into that. I was a little burned by the AWP videos and a little disgusted with some of the true crime people, YouTubers who are kind of scumbags. Maybe I'll do a video on that. But we'll have more fishing coming up. It's steelhead season. It's a steelhead station. So, hey, we got a new GoPro. You saw some of the footage from it. And